Welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. Hopefully you can hear me alright over the necessary air conditioning. Got my camera precariously placed on the edge of the table here. Hopefully I can still reach all this stuff. So I'm gonna get into this pick-a-pile weekend reading here. So the pile markers are Glissen. It's a 1981 Mattel miniature doll from the Dazzle series. So she's got the silver net veil here. And I have this Sue the T-Rex shot glass that my brother got me. And then we have Rhod in his super green outfit here. Super green. Okay. So the decks that I'm using this week are... I'm just gonna put her arm down, and I just watched Shining Through and it's giving me a little bit not cool imagery here. I guess she doesn't tilt upwards. Okay. Alright. What am I doing? Oh, the decks that I'm using. So I have the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. I have the Wild Unknown Tarot. The Radley Valentine Angel Tarot deck here. The Dreams of Gaia Tarot. The Blessed Bee deck. Lucy Cavendish. I have the Thoth deck. And I'm also using my phrase deck that I made. I just doubled it in size within the last week, so we've got more to choose from there. It's like 100 thick now. Not all these three piles have the same amount of cards, and not all of them have all of the decks in them. So, okay, I guess I'm gonna start with Glissen over here. Oh, Ruby, your fat head, he fell over. Such a drama queen. Alright. Let's try to hold her up to the camera. She's only 4 inches tall. Pretty well articulated for the era. She's a really teeny little Steffi head mold. I can't really tell if that's in focus because it's got this stupid little green box over it. But anyway. Okay, put her over here. Zoom back out a little bit. I'll probably change that in a minute when I try to get the cards. Let me get it back to focus on what the hell I'm doing over here. Meow. Meow. So, okay, that's pretty good. I feel like it was easier to focus with the red tube. Let me go back to that one. Where did I put it? That's the yellow one. I want that one. Where's my stuff? Ugh. Everything's all moved around over here because I've been doing like 4 different projects on this table. Okay, here we go. Alright, I got it. There. Okay, that's better. I don't know why. It was just weirding me out with the white. Titanium white. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, I'll probably have to change it in a minute anyway. Let's see what we've got. I've got a couple cards in the challenge position here. I don't want to do those first, though. Let me do this one. The Mother of Wands. So that's in the challenge position. That's the Queen. And that would be a 1 or a 13. So here she's guarding her nest of eggs. We have root and sacral energy. I get this idea of being caught between life and death, kind of like a purgatory. This one also in the challenge position, the Ace of Cups. And I was going to say emotional purgatory. So the Ace of Cups is also in the challenge position, which is, let me hold it up right here. So it's not a total revolution of the emotional body, but it's like it's trying to go there, because I see 1 and I see 1, that's 11, that's universal timing, that's like help from your guides, and it's also the twin flame number. But if that doesn't apply to you, don't worry about that aspect. It's 13 and 1, which is 14, which is temperance, be balance. But also I see 2, like a duality. Potentially the High Priestess, but I don't want to get there yet. Okay, so we also have Lust. This is 11. This is what the Strength card is in this deck. So we have Leo energy, fire. So we have 11 potentially up here, and then 11 again. And look at this. Notice how there's a bunch of different faces by the lion. It's like this feminine energy is wrestling with all these faces, wrestling with all these eggs to find out which one is going to be the one that hatches, which of these little nuggets is the gold one. And here it's trying to get the right face to turn towards you, to the light, to see what's going on. There's something inherently attractive in this issue because of that lust element. There's fire here, there's fire here, and there's water here. Now, in some decks, the 11 is justice, which would be a lower vibration of the High Priestess. Okay, so a blessing to lift sadness. So that's why the cup isn't upright. We have this sort of confusion energy here of this, perhaps somebody's sad because they're extremely attracted to something or someone or an aspect of themselves, but it's not bringing them happiness, and they don't understand how to move forward. They're like, okay, now, like of all the versions of them or it that's presenting me, what's the real deal here? Like looking towards the light, trying to get some kind of an answer. 30, a blessing to lift sadness. So I have 30. 3 is the Empress number. That's, all of the queens together. And then 0, that new beginning. We have a moth down here. Transformation with nighttime energy, right? Butterflies are sort of a daytime thing, and then the moths come at night. And we have this darkness here. This is kind of like the hermit coming out of the cave. She's not holding the lantern. Like, this is all like the hermit would be holding the lantern. Notice how she's naked here, but then wearing a cloak here, but she's got nothing on underneath it. It's like I am clothed in darkness after burning myself with trying to figure out where to go, and I'm trying to work through this problem up here to gain balance. So it's almost like this idea of shifting from the High Priestess, of trying to gain some kind of intuition, into the Empress, which has elements of grounding and changing in perspective. There's air and earth involved, whereas the High Priestess is actually water, But there is this idea of darkness and nighttime and somehow coming away from the sun, Leo, in order to gain clarity, because there's a 13 here, which is death, which is Scorpio, which is water as well. And then moon energy is Cancer, the other water element, and we see them all present here because we have the Ace of Cups. So it's kind of like an emotional overhaul. The Empress gains her ground and transforms into her full self, that she doesn't need to be sad about whatever is going on. She just needs to focus on her inner truth, her inner light. Notice how her skin is sort of shining from within. Alright, so we have 5 inverted. I think that's the tree. I'm just going to turn it upright for a second. I'm still new to Lenormand. So I have 7 of Cups down here with the number 5. So there's this idea of a 12 here, upside down, that gives me Hanged Man energy. But 7 of Cups inverted is like seeing the light. It's getting rid of all this crap that's sort of confusing or distracting. And then we have 9, so this is Flowers with the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is a lower vibration High Priestess, which is actually good to see her, and was to see her coming out specifically because it was only referenced here and hinted at in the background of these other energies. So let me check the little booklet here because I'm not that familiar with Lenormand and I want to see what it says for the tree. I also see this rainbow here is in that it's in a circle having to do with time, 11 timing, and that it's bringing in this lifting of the sadness with this it's like mist on the water, like sun and water together creating the rainbow. Health of the body, mind, and soul. Because it's the idea of putting down roots, but here the roots are upright. It's like grounding, but you're trying to root into your higher self. It's a very convoluted way of describing it. Yeah, because of the way this is inverted like this, it's like the darkness is being exposed. The underground is what's being looked upon. That's where the higher growth is coming from at the moment. Whereas this sort of day-to-day stuff is being flipped around so that it can be seen from a clearer perspective. So let me look at skim number 9, the flowers here. Okay, so this is recovery and well-being, and the rainbow hints at health here. So I have 5 and 9 together, 5 and 9, 14. But I think this is inverted in particular to say that we're gaining illumination from what's usually in the dark, and to make sure that this 7 of Cups is inverted, because that brings the clarity. I'm just skimming this, hold on. It's like an invitation and a gift to sort of to yourself, right? It says a blessing to lift sadness, and it's kind of like this will cheer you up, or sort of like intuitively giving back to yourself to help lift your own spirits. With a little bit of help from your friends here, the moth is hopefully not flapping around spastically right next to your head, but will be it's sort of like an antenna, like whispering with its little chenille radio waves at you to it's sort of to let you know that you have the intuition inside of you to know what the truth is. You just have to trust yourself and trust that your feelings are valid, and in that way they can sort of be cleared out and have this kind of rainbow shine upon them. They go from this sort of heated confusion to a state of, you know, upending your perspective to gain a new view on yourself, and that will give you the grounding and the complete control over your domain. It's sort of like it's like smiling upon yourself with your own inner light. Is there anything else for that? I don't think so. I think it's indicative of time for a new start, and we see that even though these are in the challenge position, the cards are sort of all speaking to each other, and it's something that isn't complete but might be something that's being finished over the next couple of weeks, the next 30 days. The glisten of hope for the future. One of the other ones in this set is called Glimmer. Okay, so I'm gonna do Ruby and we'll start a new section here. So top heavy. Ridiculous. Alright, so here's Ruby again, just to get the full schmear here. It's kind of a... Alright. I guess I'll start with the Lenormands on here. So this is, I believe this is dice. I think it's just called dice. It's 39. It's an extra card in this expanded edition. It doesn't have a specific card. It has all the suits on it. So to me that indicates that it's supposed to be a major arcana. So I have 3, which would be the Empress, and then I have 9, which would be the Hermit, or 12, which is the Hanged Man, but it's inverted. So I'll perhaps get into that in a minute. Let me just check that. I want to make sure it's actually called dice. I'm so green on Lenormand that I'm still trying to learn it little by little here. So I don't use it every time I do readings right now, so there's a little bit of a gap. Dice, yeah, it is. Okay. Dice. Dice. Okay, so we have Snick, Bitey, Chompy, Ouchie, Bleedy, and a 8 figure here, although it's number 7. And then we have Queen of Wands energy. So that's a 1 or a 13. And I really see 8 there. It's giving me this sort of 8 of Swords energy. Sort of like don't bite the hand that feeds. I'm getting this idea, let me move these around. With that like Scottish saying, like touch not the cat but a glove. It's with this, it's sort of like you gambled and got bitten. Like, as you're not doing it anymore, like once bitten, twice shy kind of energy. You've burned your hand on the stove and seek to not do it again. So I had a whole bunch of these fucking things come out. 4 of air. Time to rest or take a vacation. So. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. So that's kind of sleeping on it. Ruby, get the frig out of the way, man. Taking up the whole table with his fat head. Okay. 7 of fire. Interesting. Defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground. Choose your battles wisely. Snake is real chompy on that one. 7 and 7. 12. 4. Okay, that works. 6 of fire. Oh, I'm not surprised because that's half of the 12. Okay. Victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or rewards. That's kind of a weird spread. Nope. I'm going to put it down here. Six and 7, 13, Queen 13. Okay, that's why. That's weird. Okay. What's this Thoth card over here? 2 of swords. And here it's called peace. The moon in Libra. I should probably check the other symbolage. So 6 swords altogether. Okay, that's interesting. So 6 and 6, that's 12. So my message card. Oh, it's a 13 again. I'm starting to gain some insight. I get that one a lot. This 2 of swords is kind of struggling with a concept. It's trying to see from another perspective. It's that junior energy, that lower vibrational energy of the queen. Well, of the Queen of Swords, but also of the High Priestess, the 2. There's a duality. I'm trying to see one or the other. It's like there's 2 dice, there's 2 swords. Here there's 4 swords. This is 13, 1 and 3 together, 4. This is like the day after the battle. Here it's like I'm defending my beliefs, and here I'm winning. I don't think I've gotten these 2 cards together. But it's almost like I've had to shift direction, right? I got bitten. I'm not rolling the dice that direction anymore. So it's like, what do you believe? Did you shut down your operation and be like, screw you guys, I'm going home? Screw you guys. Him. And now you're going to be able to win. But it's sort of like in somewhere in the in-between, between this stage and this stage, there's this idea of, I need to figure out what I'm doing. I have to look at this from other sides. And then here again, it's like death cycle, death cycle, death cycle, hung up on it, breaking down the confusion, and then like redoubling and dividing and recombining the numbers until you figure out what's going on and have some kind of recognition for what you've been through to some extent. My battery's gonna crap out soon. I'm gonna try to finish this reading if I can. So what is my other... I'm just gonna check these other energies. 4 of Swords, Jupiter in Libra, so we have that fire Sagittarian energy. 6 of Wands, Jupiter in Leo, so again Sagittarian, and it's also the wheel is Jupiter as well. So there is a turning. There's an about face here somewhere. 7 is Mars in Leo. So that's Aries energy. So we have all the elements of fire here, which is interesting because the Queen is there. So she's kind of ruling. She's in command of all of the fire, and we see all of the fire there. Ow. The Queen is Pisces and Aries, with water energy in the fire. So Pisces is the ruler of the moon card, but the moon is ruled by Cancer, and we have the moon here, but then I also associate the High Priestess with Pisces, even though she's ruled by the moon. So when I see Pisces and I see a queen, especially outside of the suit of air, I'm like, oh, okay, she's the Queen of Swords. I mean, the Queen of Wands is trying to get to the High Priestess level. But let me read the snake just to see what else is going on there. 7. Snake. If I knew how to put numbers in the right order. Okay, so it's a lack of trust. Cheating, deceiving, betrayal. Superficiality. One who is prone to be malicious. Duplicitous. Two-faced. Okay. So I don't see it as really indicating anything else. I almost see it as just like events that keep happening over and over again. But notice how there's a gap where the snake's mouth is and the tail is. It's like this sort of stuck in a cycle of having someone stab you in the back over and over again. And you're no longer going to take your chances with that person. And you've opened up this feedback loop. Shaking the apples from the tree. I really love your peaches, wanna shake your tree. Okay. I think that's it. I think it's sort of like someone who's learned their lesson and moved on, and is, you might not have closure, but you're starting to figure out what's happened, but you know that you sort of saved yourself from going from the frying pan into the fire, and it's getting you closer to where you want to be. All right, so that's Ruby Rhod. Oh my god, look at all this fire. Ruby, he's like, I ain't got no matches. I can't do. So the battery died, but I was just gonna finish up saying with my extremely poorly quoted quote from The Fifth Element. At the end of the movie, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, you've had 23 years to do so. The stone that he has to activate is the fire one. So, how about that? Okay, so let's move on. How about them apples? And I get to this Sue shot glass right here. What do we got? What we got? Is that wands? Yeah. 10 of Wands inverted. Saturn in Sagittarius. Inverted. Something's incomplete. The Father of Cups, so that's the King. Balanced. Black Swan. And the Star inverted. 17. It's like Mario just got that one. It's all bright and spinny. Okay. So we have 17 that breaks down to an 8 total, which gives me 18 total. The moon. Moon energy inverted tells me illumination. Gives me the sun. When the moon goes down, the sun comes up. Look at the swan sailing away from all that bullshit. Like toodaloo, motherfuckers. Okay. in the same direction as the T-Rex on the shot glass. Okay, where am I going? Here we go. Okay. 3 of water. Yeah, that's the party card. Andrew WK, party, 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 party. Party. I don't know how he says it. What's this? A blessing on a homecoming. So we have 44, breaking down to 8. It came in inverted, which to me means there's confusion or delay usually, unless I get some other special meaning. This kind of looks like... I was going to say the High Priestess, but it's more the Queen of Swords here. She's like chilling out in the Queen of Pentacles garden because she's not at home. Interesting. So 44 is 11 times 4, divine timing number, advice from the upper realms combined with the foundational number, also the Emperor. There's these 2 feminine cards looking in the same direction, and the Father is looking the other way. Let me see what this... I don't know if that's supposed to be upside down or not. Okay, so it says, you know I love you, 36. So that's breaking down to a 9. Interesting. Getting some unrequited love feelings here. It's like... I feel put out of home. I've been waiting for 65 million years for something to happen in this relationship. It's like I'm losing hope. I want to give up the battle. It's been too much. But on the back side of this, there's this moon energy is sort of anchoring sun energy, and then there's this sort of celebratory card here because this masculine energy is now balanced. It's almost like blink and you'll miss it. It's like you spend all your time looking this way, that the truth that you know is kind of over here. So it's like, I am in command of my emotions, I'm cool, I'm good now, let's get together. Like, don't you know that I love you? Meanwhile, it's like, I am forlorn, shall I fall upon my sword? I am sad. Because it came out inverted. But let me check on these energies here. What am I getting? Stars, Aquarius. So there's like, there hasn't been a revelation in terms of communication. Saturn retrograde. Oh, Saturn's going to be moving back into Capricorn. I think it's in Aquarius now, but the fact that this is Saturn in Sagittarius, it's sort of like it's heading in that direction, even though it's like, for some reason, we're focusing heavily on the fire energy and not on the like earth energy itself, which is weird, if that makes sense. So King of Cups, Libra, and Scorpio with Heir of Water, which is why he's Black Swan, because he's been through the death cycle and he's now 14 balanced, but he's also 1 in 4 equals 5, a pivot. So he's ratcheted himself in the other direction, away from kind of, I'm hearing quagmire with the quicksand. He's like, la la la, I'm sailing this way. So the Father of Cups is sort of in his own little personal tunnel of love, where this Queen energy coming in with 44, which is a whole hell of a lot of numbers, looks kind of bummed Three of Cups energy, Mercury and Cancer. It's like the message hasn't come back through the tunnel to her yet. There's this bridge here of this 3 and the 6. 44 minus 36. Is that 18? Wait, no, that's not 18. I can't do math that way. Tired. 4, that's 8. 8. So the difference is 8. I want to see what this 8, what the blessing card number 8 is. So 8. I'm going to find out what it says on it. Let's see, okay, here, 8, okay. So the difference between these is 8, a blessing on your intuition. To me, this is a bridge between these two cards. She's shifted from having the sword in hand to having this crystal ball. In that way, to me, it seems like the Queen of Swords in the Pentacle Garden, which would be 9 of Pentacles. 9 times 4, 36. But now she's taken up a crystal, and in the Syrian starseed deck, crystals is pentacles. So she's put down the sword, she's taken up a pentacle, and she's gone into this darkness to see if she can see what's going on. And 8 has to do with strength, but it can also alternately be justice. So it's like, do you have the strength to like look over your shoulder and make sure that you haven't missed anything while being all up in your head? You need to like ground yourself, ground your emotional content, and try to open yourself back up to your higher self. 4 times 2, grounding foundation times the High Priestess, a blessing on your intuition. This owl's coming in with messages. Okay, so that's what the difference is there. And the message coming in is like, celebrate because I love you. And which means that this King of Cups should be sailing in behind the fishies here, in theory. I mean, you can't just exist forever in this stagnation here. Right? This is a 9. We're not getting anything done here. Right? We're at 9. We're not at 10. Inverted, not at 10. And even this 1, 8 inverted, it's hinting at this 8. It's almost like there should be a tower, but there doesn't necessarily have to be. It's like these are like the brambles around Sleeping Beauty's tower. And it's not like the tower has to come down. It's almost like you have to stop letting yourself be weighed down, be burdened, be overcome by your own head games about the situation. Now, I don't see any other specific references to the number 5 here. But this 1 could be a 1 or a 14, 1 and 4 or 5. But even that would bring this would be an 8 again. So there's something specific about the number 8 here. It's like I say number 8, number 8, number 8, number 8. It's like almost getting this idea of remember to wait. It's like the king isn't coming because he's afraid that you're numb to him and will berate him. And so in that way, I do sense perhaps some fear element, but if the king is in control of his emotions, so if he's in a position of not of overthinking himself, he just seals up the emotions and doesn't toss them out like crumbs to the fish in the water. But if he's feeling like it's safe to come around again, then he will in a balanced way. So I think there's something that's going to be playing out. I mean, if 8's so important, it's probably going to be in the next 8 days or 8 weeks. 8 weeks seems like a long time, but definitely look out for some indication of 8. It could be August. Alright, so that's it for Sue the T-Rex. I don't know if I can get that to focus any better. There we go. Alright, so that was the weekend pick-a-pile. Hopefully there was some information in there that was useful, or at least amusing. Hopefully I'm gonna try to get, nope. Stay where I put you. My painting cup there. Nope. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Alright, there we go. If you want to get a personal reading, you can hit me up at thecatcameback@camp@gmail.com. I can get you a full list of readings. I have actual art things, prints, merch, coloring books, other items. So I will get you all of the information for those and for the list of readings I offer and how much they cost. That list is also available in the description box of my infomercial video, which is linked below this one. My new infomercial video that I just did is like a guide and tutorial of what I have and where you can find it and what it is too. I would encourage you to like and share and subscribe and comment. Stay tuned for more readings in this playlist. Check out that playlist tab. Check out the discussion tab. If you want to help keep this channel chunking along, and or hit the tip jar, energy exchange, and so on, that's paypal.me/cattheminion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. Those are also both Cat the Minion as well. If you have any questions, you can always just email me. That's one word, thecatcameback@gmail.com. We'll see you later. Stay groovy.